The river's not. Hang on. The river is not wet. Water is not itself wet. The banks of the river is wet.
Don't start this debate.
No.
I'll panic. I'll have a full meltdown. What do you mean water is not wet?
Anyway.
It itself is not wet. It makes things wet. You did not say on your lines and fails about, like, I'm not allowed to have the water is wet discussion. Welcome back to Dragon Delves, brought to you by Dyson Divergence. The last time that we left off our players, Haziel came up with a science all by herself that if we put water from the poison river into a pot and then she destroys water, whatever's left should be whatever is poisoning the river. And as they were walking towards the river, they came across a tree that is swarmed by centipedes. Not great. Meanwhile, Buck and Kinzee were at the bar where Kinzee was trying to get rumors and gossip, and Buck was just making people cry after they asked Kinzee out on dates. But it's okay. They deserve it.
If they are strong of heart and of will, they will be back. And Kinzee deserves no less.
So many thoughts.
100%.
Okay, and I wrote down our initiative, for sure. The Swarm, Rel, Ben, Haz, and then the Giant Centipede is last.
Okay.
So, as Haziel walks up towards this tree and gets close to it, the scuttling sounds of centipedes starts to get louder and louder, and you look over and you see a giant centipede coming down the side of the bark with just a swarm of tiny little centipedes all around it and coming towards you. The swarm scutters towards you, and swarms can occupy the same space as the players, and takes a bite at Haziel.
No!
Does a 22 hit?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain.
Not the cleric.
Yep.
I mean,
Always
all of you.
We're built different. It's okay. What's a little bug bite?
What's a little bug bite, right? Okay, fantastic.
Wait, is this a mailman have mailman situation where psychopomps get psychopomps?
You take 9 piercing damage.
Oh. Guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 1 right now.
Okay.
Better
That's
than a 0.
better than a 0.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Rel, you're up.
All right.
Finn,
So,
next.
talking is a free action, right?
Talking is a free action, but you gotta talk quick.
Yeah. Hey, Finn. Remember that time I rescued you from that den of spiders?
Yes.
I hope this goes a
Vividly.
lot better than that did.
You know, we made it out of that one. I'll take it.
Yeah.
it. Eat up
Relzaerax is going to move. I guess we currently have the grid on, so I can just use that.
You don't have the grid on, but the squares are 5 feet.
Okay.
I like to give you a little bit more maneuverability.
I would like to move to here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on the giant centipede.
Okay.
And then I would like to attack it with my short sword. Is a 19 a hit?
A 19 is a hit.
Okay.
Love to see
So
it.
we're going to go damage.
8 million damage.
11 damage.
Mm-hmm.
We're like 11.
And then because I have weapon mastery in a short sword, and it's a light weapon, I get to do a free offhand attack with my scimitar.
Okay.
With advantage.
Sure.
Kill
My
it.
hero.
Yeah, a 17 also hits.
Cool.
Kill it.
I'm realizing for some reason it messed the damage. So the second attack, we're going to subtract 4 because for some reason it messed up the quick thing here.
Yeah, I was wondering where that came from, but we're good. We're good.
Okay.
9.
So we're gonna subtract 4,
Ish.
so that's 5.
5. So you go up and you slash the giant centipede with your short sword and then right in the same swoop you come up and you get it in an upper with your scimitar, and the giant centipede writhers back in pain, and you can hear its legs scuttling together, and it screeches and it's like "Ah!" And he curls up into a little ball and is dead.
Yes. All right.
Right.
Get wrecked.
Okay. That's my turn.
Fantastic. Good. All right, you guys are doing better than I. Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah. That's it.
A second
done.
centipede appears.
Don't will it into existence.
Don't do it.
Don't
such a
Pokemon
dragon.
us, man. Come on.
All right, you got anything else for your turn? Or you good? All
good.
set? Fantastic. Finn.
All right. So the swarm attacked Haziel. Is the swarm technically in Haziel's space right now, or is it,
It
just
is.
like next to her?
Yeah, the swarm is starting to go up Haziel's leg, so she's slightly getting covered by it. They are sharing the same space.
Okay, so if I were to make a melee attack against the swarm, specifically it's like a spell attack, is there a chance that I might hit Haziel?
If you do terribly poorly, yes,
Okay.
but probably you'll be okay.
Okay. So, yeah, the dead centipede changes things. So I'm going to move up here to like get, I don't know, do you allow flanking or no? Yeah.
I think that you have to earn that. I believe that is a.
Beg for it.
I guess.
I think that's a learned skill,
Okay.
right?
So yeah, some games homebrewed that you can just do it. So I just was curious. So I will be doing a shocking grasp against the swarm. So a spark of electricity flicks off of Finn's arcane focus, and she coalesces it into her hand and literally reaches out and grabs a handful of bugs.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah, 24 hits.
Ooh.
Jeez.
4 damage.
Okay.
Not my best.
Yeah,
But it's
so you
something.
reach out and grab some bugs, and a couple
At
of
least
them
it hit.
Yeah.
fall off.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna kind of post up so I can be another target for this thing to hit other than Haziel. And then look to Relzaerax and say, should we run?
Nah,
Alright.
we got this.
Okay.
Haziel, you're up.
All right. Once my character sheet loads, I know what I'm gonna do. I am anxious, per usual. Just gonna like they're on me, and I think they hit an artery. We're gonna and I'm just gonna bane, I guess.
Okay.
I think that's a thing. That's
Bane
an
the-
applicable damage dealer.
No.
No, Bane
Uh-oh.
affects their
You're
It
right.
just reduces 1d4 from saving throws.
Yeah, saving throw.
There
and
it
attacks.
is. Okay. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah, let's do that one. Let me press the button. We're gonna cast that one. Boop.
There you go.
How much did I heal?
14.
Oh, sig. We're alive. Feeling a lot better. My artery is no longer spewing blood comedically.
My pin.
What does your magic look like?
So I'm just going to, like, in my hands, coalesce a almost divine light, but you can see small, intricate flickers of a deep black, reminiscent of the god that I follow. And I'm just gonna throw it right on my leg, just like rip my leg. Okay, if anyone can hit them, I didn't read my spells. I have nothing that can hit. I believe in
Working
you.
on it.
That's what we're here for, Haziel.
Yeah.
Don't
See,
worry.
I healed really good, so it all works out. I'll just be bug bait. It'll work.
Cool.
And that's my turn.
Level 1.
As you guys are, you're fighting them, and the bugs are still crawling up Haziel's legs. The black holy light, as she puts it onto her leg, it kind of flicks some off of her, but they're already starting, so they're going to continue to swarm up her legs and do another fight attack.
Dev is in hell right now.
I don't fuck with centipedes. I don't fuck with them.
I'm being nice. Does a 19 hit?
Absolutely.
That
All right,
was
that
a
means
19?
15
That looks
damage.
like a
Oh
16.
no.
I am very unconscious. I am at -5 health.
Haziel, in a frantic, in a state of frantic.
In a state of frant. Run with it.
Yeah. In a
The
state of
French
France,
condition.
Haziel
In
takes. In France, Haziel takes her holy black light, slams it on their leg. A couple of centipedes fall off, but it doesn't matter because in the next moment, the entire swarm engulfs her body, and you see her body collapse. And then the swarm dissipates off of her over here, and looks like they're gonna start towards Finn next.
Here comes the TPK,
Okay.
by the way. I warned you guys. As he said
Don't
you
worry,
can
we got
do it.
this.
Here it is.
Relzaerax is gonna one-shot.
Cavalry's on the way.
It's only happening because we decided to split the party, and have half of us go into the poisoned forest alone.
In fairness, I didn't
Science.
realize the river was this far into the forest.
Fair, true, same as. All
In
right,
fairness, I went to a bar. Like, you
Yeah.
guys could have come.
you're not wrong.
What people do after going to a bar, I'm afraid. I mean,
God,
Anyway.
God, Drake, come on. You're better than that.
yeah, I had to.
Knew you were gonna say it. I knew it, but I was like, no, Drake's better than that.
Trust him.
I am, but I couldn't help myself.
The bar was on
I
the floor. Drake
trusted
didn't.
you.
Bar was on the floor. Drake brought a shovel.
Drake's doing limbo
Anyway.
out here.
Because my hunter's mark target died, I can recast it as a bonus action.
Bless you.
I guess I'm not sure what that specifically looks like, but I just imagine I'm standing there holding both of my short sword and my scimitar, and this kind of green haziness that was on the larger centipede is just going to shift over to the centipede swarm, and then I'm going to move up to it.
Okay, you're just gonna step over Haziel's. Okay.
Based.
It's what I it's what I got.
Oops, excuse me.
I
there.
do one thing, and this is it. I would then like to attack with my short sword, not with advantage. Uncheck that. Does a 13 hit?
A 13 does hit.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. 13 damage,
Okay.
and then that once again triggers my free offhand scimitar attack with advantage. 24 to hit,
Okay.
and
Hunter be hunting.
9 damage.
Fantastic. How you want to do this?
All right.
Yeah.
See, we don't need
Okay.
cavalry. We got this.
So
Science.
this green haze shifts over to the centipede swarm, and I jump over Haziel's unconscious body, trying to hopefully make them come after me instead of Finn and her. But then I just end up squashing all of them, and just it's like a chef with a knife chopping an onion, but it's the swarm of centipedes.
Speed dicing.
And Julienne them.
Yep, yeah. Julian, the centipede swarm.
All right, fantastic. You guys didn't die. I'm so proud of you.
Well.
I'm immediately gonna run to Haziel and try and stabilize.
I was gonna say, do you want to try to stabilize, or do we have to do a death saving throw?
No, if we're going by initiative order, I'm gonna run over and try and stabilize.
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, medicine check. Don't screw me.
Good.
Hell yeah.
18. So yeah, so immediately Finn sits down, and she has an unerring sense of human anatomy from all of the courses that she's taken at her institution, and is immediately like prestidigitating the blood away and the grime and the bug guts, and is like literally just like stabilizing the wound, like tearing off parts of her robe, tying it around, incredibly efficient.
You stabilize Haziel, and she is now at 1 life.
Ow.
You're back.
The only hit point that matters, the last one.
Yep.
Haziel, how many fingers am I holding up?
3.
Ooh boy. Okay.
Close
So
enough.
Science hurts.
Science sometimes does hurt, but you did great. What hurts? Where is the pain? What's happening?
Well, there's a lot of holes.
Relzaerax is gonna kneel down next to Haziel, and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Uh,
As
which
Ral is
yeah.
casting his Cure Wounds, Buck and Kinzee, you guys can put your tokens on the left corner of the map. And go ahead and make a quick perception check to see if you guys clock where they are.
Haziel's at full.
Nice.
A donka.
So I'm gonna help you stand up, Haziel, if you're ready.
Thank you.
How well do I have to do?
10 was
Not as well as I wanted.
cutoff. Yep, you did just enough. Kinzee, you've got no clue. You walk in and you're like, oh wow, look how big these trees are. They're huge.
I'm still fucking talking about Pauline and Jennifer, man.
I mean,
Yep.
that's fair.
I'll
That
be
was good
thinking
gossip
about that
too.
the whole way.
Just an hour of.
The whole time.
But Buck, you are able to clock where they are. You walk in and you're like, oh, damn, this is like a big forest. And you just do a quick like 180 scan of what's going on. And then like right at the end, your eyes land on like, there's 3 figures off in the distance a little bit that you're like, well, that's gotta be my friends.
Can I just have done the like
Oh.
and see if any of them respond?
Yeah, do a
Or in
performance check
preschool.
to see how loud your claps are. And then
A performance, okay, bet.
yeah, and then the 3 that just fought, do a perception check to see if you can hear it. Or if your passive perception is higher than whatever he rolls.
Can
You also
I
could have just
guide?
gone
Or lower
see
than.
No one told you life was gonna be this way, and see if anybody clapped back.
Perception, 12, 6.
I could have.
Perception.
Low bar. Clear.
So,
Oh, hell yeah.
for some reason, Haziel's the first one to hear it, and instinctively, she even though she wasn't in your classes, she's like, oh yeah, and claps
She
back.
responds to a beat.
Guys, it's the sound.
Are you okay,
Now,
Haziel
Haziel?
likes Music Box. Music
Yeah.
Box teach Haziel.
Can I do a quick if you'll allow me, Haziel, can I do a quick investigation check just to see if there's like broken bones, like lasting poison effects from the bug bites, just things like has she been infected with the poison of the forest, etc.,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah, you
I'm just
can.
gonna walk her over as well.
Or would that be an Arcana check? Yeah.
That would be a nature or arcana.
Okay, I will do both. Is this the same for me? I'll just do Arcana. 21.
All right. It doesn't look like the poison is lingering too deep in her skin. It looks like your cure wounds and everything has fixed it. Thankfully, the centipedes were not like super venomous. They were just like regular bitey bugs.
Okay, so Haziel, good news. You're not poisoned. There should hopefully be no lasting impact from these bug bites. You should make a pretty quick recovery after a good night's rest.
Okay, bad news. Is it terminal?
The trauma? I can't
Well,
say that one way or the other. But
That's what
physically,
yeah, it's what a plague doctor said once.
that's true. That is true. But no, in this specific instance, the bug bites are not fatal.
Oh.
What happened?
Oh, hey, everybody.
Oh,
We're
hey.
doing science.
Hi guys.
Yeah. We were walking.
Why are there
toward
holes in her?
Well, actually,
all
the
those
shit, there
dead
are.
centipedes
Or
on the
heels.
body, on the ground. All those dead centipedes. That's why.
Stay away from the
Okay.
trees.
Yeah, be careful. Things
And don't
might
walk
come out of
into
them.
trees either. There's hinky magic over there.
Any lasting damage that needs to be addressed?
Nope, I just did a full body scan. Right as rain.
Well done, guys. You held your own.
I told you I had it covered. For the most part.
Let's
Good
just
form
say you
as
did
always.
How was the bar?
well. Okay.
Buck says, let's just
Interesting.
say you done well. And it fades off into, you see Belikr, and he is like, not sprinting, but like walking at a fast pace towards the town. And the town is on the horizon. And he's like, oh my god, this is so ridiculous. Can't believe I'm late. Belikr, you arrive in a town that is an elvish town that's made out of tall trees and huts. Alright. Three tanning huts and large tree hollows that are homes and shops. There's individuals that have made their homes in the forests more. And it's multicultural, so you'll see elves, dragonborns, half-orcs, etc. Nobody greets you when you walk into town, though. You look ahead and you see a couple of like larger buildings and something that looks like a tavern. Outdoor tavern, outdoor seating, but a tavern.
I guess I'll just go into the tavern then. I don't see many other things I could do. Such a cold welcome. I'm just gonna go straight to the tavern and look for information on, because I have no idea what's happened or where anybody is.
Right. So you walk
So
You walk into the tavern and there's an elf behind the bar, and he's like, "Hi, hello. What can I do you for? You need a drink?"
a drink would be nice, and maybe I could pick your brain for a couple of guidances as to where I could go to find a couple of friends of mine.
Friends, you say? Well, I know about everybody in here since, it's kind of a tight-knit group. What's your friend's name?
Well, all of them have multiple names.
As
one,
most people do. Go on.
There's a group of adventurers that may have passed through here within the past 2 hours, at least. One named Buckthorn, hardy man, large warrior. Finn, a very powerful wizard in the making, very intelligent, very keeping to themselves. Another one of my kind, Relzaerax. I don't know if you would have caught their name. Any of these names ring a bell to you?
Well, no, I don't think that I got anybody's name, really, but there was a rather large, sturdy fella making some of the patrons cry after they talked to, this cute little girl with, like, a tambourine on her hip.
That would be Buck and Kinzee. Could you tell me where they went?
Yeah. They went out that way, and he points towards the redwood grove, which is where the large trees are. Yeah, they went that way. It's about, like an hour or so, 30 minutes, an hour walk, not that far. Yeah, they said they were going out there to go and investigate like a poison, the poison and plague that's happening out there. Be careful though, because it's not great. Dragons, can come back from the dead. So just be careful. I'm pretty sure that Death at Sunset has come back.
Though I appreciate your concern, my friend, I too am a dragon. I have nothing to fear.
He mutters under his breath something, actually, he mutters under his breath. You can give me a perception check if you want.
Yes.
Are we gonna have to jump this bartender for being racist?
You might.
It's the whole town, remember? They've been
Yeah.
indoctrinated by the council to think all dragons are evil.
You'd be surprised how flammable a forest is when it's full of racists.
It's true.
You don't hear anything beside Dragonborn and murmur.
We'll jump him anyway.
we're gonna jump the bartender. It's fine.
Villain.
I don't
Yeah.
trust that.
Would this be Fergus of the Grill or?
Yeah. So are you gonna head out towards the grove to go find
Yeah.
your people? Okay.
I'm just gonna set my tankard on the table and be like, "Thanks for the drink, friend," and give him a small reminder that I'm here to protect, not to harm.
Oh, thanks. Are you gonna pay for that?
I'll smile and I'll toss him 2 copper
Hmm.
and say, "There's your
Fantastic.
payment."
Thanks. How'd you know it was 2 copper? I didn't say anything yet.
I have my ways about me, and knowing that you've met my friends, I have a feeling. Take care.
Yeah, thanks, you too. Have a good night. It is getting dark though. It'll probably be dark in about 3 hours. You see the sun's going down. Be careful.
Thank you again for your concern. But even in the darkness, I am the light.
And Belikr heads towards the
Actually
woods.
goes hard. Goddamn.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I just like how Hazy economics are going strong.
I'm like adapted
Yeah.
throughout the entire world here,
That's
dude.
our primary
Turns
economics.
out we were the ones that were wrong.
Yeah, honestly.
It's just the going
Damn it,
rate.
Haziel.
The
right.
standard going rate.
You woodland folks, you got about an hour before Belikr arrives.
Well, what did science find?
Well, unfortunately, science got interrupted by these, and then it's like gestures to the bug bodies. But we have been able to ascertain a couple of
Gross.
things. Yes, very gross. I hate it. Burn these trees down. Center of
Don't
the grove.
actually do that.
Just you wait. If I had a fireball. Center of these trees, there's a pretty powerful magical signature pinging, as well as from the bodies over there, which we have not touched. I have no interest in fighting zombies at the moment. But even more interesting is there appears to be some kind of cave opening across the river, which is pinging pretty intensely from a magical standpoint. Theories
Oh, hey,
posit
we heard about a
perhaps
cave.
that's the dragon's
did.
cave. Oh, you did? What did you hear?
Yeah, we heard about a sword that might still be in Death at Sunset's lair, called Leaf Warden.
Did you hear about if dragon bones are still in the dragon's lair?
Well,
Probably.
they said it might be lodged in their skeleton.
Yeah.
So, assumedly, apparently the dragon was left where it was killed.
Interesting. So that could theoretically be its resting place. But we were making our way to the river to test out Haziel's scientific experiment and unfortunately were waylaid.
Okay, just quickly, why is that interesting, Finn?
Because dragon bones are an incredibly valuable alchemical and magical component and are a massive source of interest for someone like myself who is well versed and looking to make a name for yourself in residential arcane studies. Excellent
Oh.
raw materials.
Okay.
If you want, I'm
Well.
happy to provide you a bibliography of sources if you're interested in reading up on this subject. I also have some books back at the inn if that's of interest. But that's neither here nor there.
I actually do love to read. That might be nice. You can take me through them.
Less. But that's what we know
Okay.
so far from, and I think my detect magic stays up for 10 minutes. I don't know if it's been 10. I assume it's probably been more than 10 minutes since I cast it. But
It's starting to get it's starting to dim. You know how a glow stick starts to dim a little bit after it's been cracked for a while. So like it's still lingering, but it's definitely you're coming on like 9 minutes getting there.
Got it. So that am I like sensing any changes in the magical pings that I've been getting, or
Nope, holding steady
Cool.
currently.
Cool.
Okay. Are we still intent on performing science? Or should we... I mean, how does everyone feel? Like, are we spent? Are we hurt? Should we wait till tomorrow to investigate this cave?
I'm definitely curious about your guys' science.
I think science is still a good idea at a minimum. I'm somewhat tapped out of my magic, but I think the rest of us are fairly okay.
Okay.
What do you say,
Well-
I
Haziel?
got plenty
know
of magic.
science hurt you. Are you still up for the challenge?
I'm willing to do it for science.
That's what I like to hear.
Okay. Do we need to collect water?
Yes, so Relzaerax had an iron pot, and now we are following Haziel's lead as the lead on this experiment.
Great idea.
Yes.
I fully support and believe in you. Place a hand on their shoulder, cast guidance.
Are we still doing the increments of 2 on the movement?
You're good to go if you go straight to the you're good to the lake. The river. You needed
Run
to do
away.
the increments because I was like 100% sure you were gonna be too close to that tree.
Yep, makes sense.
You walk up to the small stream that winds through the eastern side of the grove. The stream is only 5 feet wide and only a few inches deep. So if you wanted to cross it without, like, you know, jumping or using ropes, you would be able to do that. However,
Good.
the water is tainted. Nope, you don't get to know that words. However, the water is tainted, period.
Can I tap Relzaerax's shoulder real quick and just say, I think you're probably better at this than me. Can you hear if there are any more bugs nearby?
Let me check.
And I'll give you the help action.
Belikr is starting to come into the bottom corner of the map, so you can put him in the bottom left and make a perception check to see if you can see where your friends are. Your perception is going to be a DC of 15 because they're behind a big tree. If you would like to look harder or perhaps look for footprints, you could do a survival check.
We'll stick with perception. Perception's fine. I'm so
Okay.
thankful. Thank you, Izzy.
Yeah, you're so welcome. 15, fantastic. All right. You notice that you hear voices coming from the east direction. Just due east. There shouldn't be anybody else out here that talks besides your friends, so that's probably where they are.
Okay, so we start heading towards that direction then.
Yeah.
which will take.
Probably about a quick little quip between this group over here deciding how to collect the water.
With Finn's assistance, do I hear or detect any more bugs nearby?
Where was that? Did you make a
I didn't yet. I was just gonna make sure. It's a perception,
perception? Yep.
I'm assuming. Okay.
Yep.
I make chittering noises just to mess with him.
Oh!
Nat
Your
20.
chittering noises mean shit. With your perception check, you do not hear any bugs. However, you do see across the pond there is a group of mud mephits over here around that tree that's surrounded by mud. And you think that you hear some rustling in trees over here in the north tree that's marked R3.
Okay. I don't hear any bugs, Finn. But there's some things over there in the mud, and definitely something in some of the other trees. But I don't think it's insects.
Lovely. I'm going to turn to the group. Do we perhaps wish to move downriver just a tad to make sure that we're not going to be drawing any unwanted, unscientific attention?
Do you have any evidence that there isn't anything downriver?
Well, we have evidence that there's stuff here, so I was thinking like 10, 15, 20 feet down. Doesn't have to be big, but just enough to get out of range of view.
Works for me.
I like the idea. I think it's a good instinct.
Haziel,
Yes.
as the lead experimenter, will you approve moving down 10, 15, 20 feet downriver? Or do you have any concerns about the quality of the sample?
It's all water.
I can see Belikr slowly sneaking up on the map. Can I hear him? Can I hear him coming?
Probably. He's in full, like, heavy armor.
Nah, bitch, I'm a shinobi. I got this.
Are you trying to
Naruto
sneak?
running.
You know what? Fuck it. For the lulz, yeah.
Alright, go ahead, roll a stealth check.
Do you think it's wise? You know what? This is gonna be fun. Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm testing your senses as a warrior. We are going to see just how perceptive you truly are.
And then, Buck, go ahead and roll a perception check. Unless your perception's higher than 14 anyways. Like your passive.
How do I check my I can just do the calcs myself.
It's just the modifier plus 10, right?
It's exactly 14.
Alright, so you hear him coming up.
That's the thing. I don't know that it's Belikr, though. I just hit armor.
Alright, I'm going to stop moving the tokens. There you go.
So I think I hear that, and I just go, you know, I agree. 10, 15 feet downriver. Make sure we're not being watched or listened to by whoever's behind that tree. And I draw my hand axe.
I haven't put my swords away.
I'd like to, if possible, because I know I am in, like, visible line of sight, yes?
You're currently behind a tree for me. I can't see you.
I can see
behind
you.
that tree.
He
If I
can't
step
see
out
you.
from behind this tree, you would be able to see.
Everybody
Oh, yeah,
else, if they
It's
literally
just-
turned around instead of looking at Buck while he's talking, could see you. Buck himself didn't.
Then, will you permit
It's
me
just
to step
commanding
out
the
behind it
attention.
and just engage with Buck here for a second and be like, your skills, they're rather honed. You are
My friend.
indeed a strong warrior. I'm impressed.
I'm flattered, but you're in heavy armor. If I didn't hear you, I'd be ashamed of myself.
This armor is poorly made, I must admit. It is not of my clan's makings, unfortunately.
You're blacksmiths.
Yes. My armor is something I picked up off of a fallen friend. No wonder he fell.
I'm so sorry.
It's a bittersweet thing. He's still here in spirit.
I think Buck just taps his ring and just goes, I know what you mean.
Like do you obviously do that, or
Oh, yeah.
subconsciously do it?
No, this isn't like by my side. I hold it up and just go,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Okay.
If you ever need a conversation.
Anyway, we're doing science.
The door's always open.
Thanks.
Science.
As to you.
Hence,
Yes, we're doing science.
Science.
So we move 20 feet down the river.
Yeah, Haziel actually had a really, really good idea.
I'm sorry, what?
Before I even vocally react, you get a message cantrip that just goes, we need to be supportive. We gotta back them.
Just nodding in agreement.
Mm.
Could everybody make a perception check real quick?
Oh no.
Another one?
I
I'm
got a
not
natural
disappointed
20.
in that. Okay,
Hey.
fuck me, I guess. I rolled the lowest. I do
25.
this every time on perception. What the fuck is this bullshit?
Finn,
I'm just excited if I
Rel?
can get over a 10.
and Buck, you guys see a shiny, glimmery, golden butterfly float past, like just flutter past you into the forest, going in this direction.
Can I roll survival?
Sure.
Or nature? Yeah, survival. To identify it?
That would be nature. So,
Alright.
you rolled a 4.
That's 6. 6 for nature. Then.
10. It's a
No, like 6 total. My nature is too lower than my survival.
That's a golden butterfly.
Okay.
You do have inspiration.
That's true. I would like to use inspiration.
Okay, go ahead.
That's the wrong button.
However, you no longer now have inspiration.
I accidentally rolled initiative instead of hitting inspiration. So now I'm going to roll my nature check.
Well, you don't got to get ready if you stay ready.
And that 20, baby.
Look at that!
And there
Look
it
at that
is.
20, baby!
You get a 20. You get a 20.
How does the inspiration from Buck manifest into you getting a nat 20?
Where's my nat 20, Buck? The fuck?
You have inspiration?
All right, so you see a metallic golden butterfly fly past you. As it flutters past you, there is a little bit of a trail behind it, but you also get a sense that it is not a real butterfly, but perhaps something magical in nature.
Like an illusion?
Not like an illusion, more like it's something else that isn't a butterfly, but it's a butterfly right now.
Okay. Did you guys see that
Metallic.
metal butterfly?
Yes.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah, that's something's up. Was it? What was
Is
the
it just
missing guy?
following the river, or is it like changing course at all?
It
Was-
is just floating up, just fluttering up the river. If Rel is pointing out the butterfly, you guys can make a investigation, nature, or perception check with advantage.
Is that even if we've already seen it?
If you've already seen it, you don't have to. This is for the people that
Okay.
don't see the metal butterfly flying by.
Can I make an Arcana check to get a sense of this is a summoned creature or,
Sure.
like a
It's gonna-
shapeshifter?
It is going to be like a 20.
Did we at any point we were told that Armin Whisperwood was a skilled woodsman. Were we in any way told what sort of magical abilities he may or may not have?
No. Not in the
Okay.
stuff that you had heard. Not about magical. It's just he was a very good hunter. He's very good at tracking. Not, he uses X, Y, and Z to do
Ignore
it. He's
that.
just very good at it. Haziel and Kinzee, you still do not see the butterfly. Haziel, it's with advantage, so you can try again.
Heck. Okay, let me press that button.
Finn. This is... You rolled a 20, right? You rolled a 15.
Yeah, I rolled
gotcha,
22.
Haziel, you see the butterfly.
Hey!
Let's go. Finn, it is not a summoned creature. It's not an illusion. It is a being that has turned itself into a butterfly.
So I'll turn to the group. Somebody has shapeshifted into a butterfly. What kind of being, I can't ascertain. But it's not illusion, and it's not a summoned creature.
I'm
What-
going to throw a message cantrip.
Okay.
Point toward a creature within range. This is a creature. The range is 120 feet.
Okay.
Or is it a creature?
Don't love that. Don't love that reaction at all, actually.
One
No.
second.
Can we take that from the top when you sound a little less concerned? Or excited?
Didn't we talk about this? Like, don't fuck with the Fae. Do we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yes.
you can't fuck with the Fae if you're mortal. I am a Fae.
It is a creature.
Cool.
The message that I will send is... We mean no harm. We hope that you are a friend. And if so, feel free to respond.
Oh, yes, I know that you mean no harm. I'm just passing through. Don't mind me.
Is that Eleanor's voice or just?
Yeah, do I recognize that voice?
You can make a history check.
I will make a history check.
I knew he was going to be watching us. I just didn't literally think he'd be here doing it.
I have no idea what you mean.
Uh-huh.
I need this man to teach me his tricks. All of your magical secrets.
So the butterfly cast power word kill.
No.
Wouldn't matter, build different.
If it's Eleanor, quest done. Over. It's a fucking. We finished. We're done. No guidance.
Backup characters?
We're just waiting for the hammer of God to come down, just like hanging
Yeah,
out.
Yeah. Like, so are you guys ready to die today?
Now we're
Nah,
fine.
man, we're chilling. We're chilling.
Yeah.
Butterfly guy said he's chill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Hanging
you
out
guys
by
don't
a
know
river.
that. I don't.
Correct.
If Buck
Oh
told
yeah,
you that.
Devin knows that. Finn
Yeah.
knows fuck all.
Yeah.
And the butterfly's just floating Badoo. Off he goes.
Damn it.
Okay.
We'll just have to keep an eye out, see if
Yeah.
the butterfly circles back. I guess. I don't know if it's a thinking, speaking creature or not, or just an odd result of the infestation in this forest. Maybe there's an interesting ecology here. We can look up some records when we go back, see if this is a species that's endemic to the region, if we so desire.
It's just Elidor.
Right on.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we talked briefly. Telepathically, it's just Elidor.
Of course it is.
Does he not trust us to do our jobs?
I get the feeling he's just looking out.
This is probably a more in-depth interview, if I had to imagine.
It's pretty standard
Yeah,
fare where
like-
I come from, that your instructors follow you around in weird little arcane mystical creature bodies just to keep an eye on you, give you guidance if you need it. Pretty normal stuff.
I see.
Or just like normally.
Do you need to have a conversation, Finn?
With Elidor?
No. You were followed around by magical little creatures. You know what? I'm here to talk if you need. Please continue. Not the time.
All right then.
So now that we've figured out the golden metallic butterfly is Elidor, science? For
Science.
the
I
fourth
forgot.
time?
All right, Haziel. Now's the hour. How would you like us
Right.
to conduct this experiment?
So we dip the bucket in the water. We blow up the water.
You got
Yeah.
it. Who would you like to grab the water?
Not me.
Fair.
I'll do it.
I have mage hand. So none of us have
You'll
to
do
touch
it.
the janky water.
Wait, you're a mage. You have 2 hands.
I actually have 3.
Where's the third one hiding?
Is it a defect?
Damn it, bro.
And Finn will mutter under her breath and do a little finger wave. And you see like a blob of purple arcane energy project from her arcane focus and manifest into this purple spectral floating hand.
Oh.
Cool.
And
Let
it
us
will.
I would like to.
Go ahead.
I would like to attempt to develop a secret handshake.
You can roll sleight of hand. Or performance.
A performance. The question is the mage hand sentient? And is it cool like that?
We'll find out.
Is it chill like that? That's the question. I think that's a 14,
Oh, weird. It didn't
because it's
show
not
up.
coming up in the chat for me.
Okay, it didn't come up on my chat. Yeah, so 14. The hand does try to make a handshake with you. It's not great, but it's trying.
Oh, practice.
The hand thinks that you're trying to do some kind of arcane spell work and is trying to mirror your movements.
Roll for
We do
fusion
actually
dance.
end up, I was about to say, we end up casting, actually.
You end
We
up
roll on the
casting
white
Meteor
magic
Sword.
table.
Go.
And then the hand will grab the pot
Mhm.
and go over to the river and dip in and try and grab some water.
Yeah, you got a scoop full of water. Your water is disgusting and smelly. It looks absolutely gross. It is a putrid green color. It stinks. It's kind of extra thick. Not in you know that thick water that they give patients learning how to re-swallow? It's
Mhm.
like that.
I
But
want to try
green.
that.
All right, so then I will
You mean
place
like
it on the ground
Pepto-Bismol?
because the hand only lasts a minute. So I'll put it on the ground, and then Finn is going to resummon the hand and take out a very small cork-stopped vial, and then take a little bit of the sample of the water to
Okay.
satisfy the agreement with Fizzlebang.
Yep.
And we'll pocket it, and then we'll carry the pot for Haziel.
I take that off in my notes.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll also
Oh.
grab some of the bark on the way over.
You're gonna grab
Destroy it,
bark from,
Haziel.
We've
Yeah,
got
I might just do a quick perception check. I know Relzaerax did a perception check to see like, are there any more bugs? And it said no. I assume that covers this tree that we cleared out just now.
Yeah, so you're
But-
getting bark from R6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I actually just make a quick? I don't know what check you would want this to be, just to see like this tree does appear to be actively infected, right? Because that was one of the requirements of the deal. Is
Nature
Well,
or
it was
Arcana?
most blighted.
okay.
Most blighted for the guy back at
Yeah.
in Silverhaven, but the lady
Natural
in-
20.
Heck yeah. This
Nice.
one
That's crazy.
is blighted, but it doesn't look like it's a source of the blight itself.
Okay.
It looks like it is more like a residual. It's gotten blighted
Got it.
later, seeped into
Okay.
it.
I'll
Your
leave it alone.
samples. You're looking for samples for the alchemist back in
Yes.
Silverhaven, and then one piece of bark from all of the trees for the lady in town.
Which I don't know if I trust that lady.
Well,
Okay.
see, that's the yeah.
Finn is doing it for the alchemist for sure.
Gwen in town. She's asking for one tree bark from everything to make antidotes for y'all. All right,
No,
you
we
have
don't trust Gwen.
a bucket of water, yucky water.
We blow it up.
We're gonna go back to our area that we prepared.
Yeah, we're doing that first. We're gonna be smart. Use the smarticles.
Particles.
Smarticle accelerator
particle.
confirmed. Let's go.
Okay. So I place it on the ground in the cleared area that Relzaerax helped prepare. I take out my journal, quill up, ready to take notes.
Before that explodes, whoever wants to, feel free to get behind me. In fact, I'm going to let it, if I'll go to Haziel and I'll just go, darling, would you like a shield wall?
Sure, I don't know where we're gonna get a wall, but let's do it.
So as I'm sure people have seen, if they have seen the Hero Forge, Buckthorn carries one of those huge, like, Roman air shields, Roman Legionnaire shields. And so giving literally just enough space for, like, Haziel to sort of, like, poke and point, he places the shield down with, like, an open gap where she could stand between him and the shield. And just goes, right, if this goes boom, scream if you're hurt, so I know.
Right. And I'm just gonna poke my head out and just like, I still haven't ever done this before. We're gonna figure it out together.
What?
Yep. It's fine. It's fine. And I'm just gonna point at it and just like explode.
The water starts to bubble and steam and fizz, and then it boils down into a reduction. Where there once was water, there's a thick, viscous, vividly green residue that is coating the inside of the pots. It has a syrupy consistency to it, and it smells overwhelmingly of rotting pine needles and vinegar. Anybody that it wants to go and look at the residue can make an Arcana or Nature check.
Nope, I did my
Not
part.
my area of...
Natural 1. Really unfortunate.
Did I also roll a natural 1? No, I rolled 3. Okay, out of 5.
Well, you know,
No.
naturally I rolled the 19.
All right,
Hell yeah.
Heck.
Belikr here. The residue has a cleaning, corrupting quality to it. It isn't just a toxin, it's actively hostile to natural life. This level of virulent magical decay is the hallmark of a powerful innate magic itself, and the kind that is passed down and possessed by fae or dragons.
Finn, do you have anything that we can hold this in? Anything self-containing, something that would not combust under pressure, something that would be able to contain without harming a holder, like a vial or something. If we touch the vial, we wouldn't get hurt for holding this. This is a dangerous magic.
Can I take out one of my many glass vials, some of which are screw top, some of which are corked? One of the screw top ones. Can I touch the glass vial to the material to see if it'll eat through the glass?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm just gonna like touch it, and just see like, does it eat through the glass? Does it seem to have any effect on the glass? Or
You touch it to the slime itself, and it just squashes in there. Nothing
Okay.
really happens. The glass itself is not organic, so it's not gonna do anything. You're good.
okay. So then I will wipe off the on the grass.
It dies.
Unscrew it. So
There we go.
nice. All right.
Uh-huh. I was gonna like grab a branch or something and like try to stick it in, but don't need to.
And so then I will unscrew it, summon my mage hand again, and have it scoop some of the sludge, screw top on, and then I'm going to be monitoring it and also the river water just to make sure it doesn't over time eat through the glass and then accidentally get everywhere. But we have the sample. I'm going to turn to Haziel. This was an incredible success. Have you ever thought about becoming a scientist?
That involves school.
Not necessarily.
Wait, I can just be a scientist?
Being a scientist is about identifying the questions of the universe and then having the creativity to try and think of ways to suss out solutions. So you perfectly identified a way to distill this poison, so we now have a concentrated sample. So any studies that we run on this sample will be that much more conclusive because we know for a fact this is a concentrated dose.
Perhaps you could even align yourself with Finn here and allow Finn to teach you. My friend, your curiosity needs to be sated. It would be good for a scientific endeavor.
You're so
Yes.
creative.
I'll align with Finn. Teach me science.
And with that, we are going to take our intermission. We have successfully
Let's go.
killed centipedes, and we successfully did one science.
Yeah.
Time to jump that tavern keeper for being a racist prick to
I did the
Dragonborn.
science.
You did a science.
Bite the curb.
Fantastic.
Always ready.
Yay. All right, chat, we
Yay.
will be back. And you guys should go. Yeah, you don't have to do any science, but you should probably go get a drink and go to the bathroom real quick.
Do science.
Yeah.
Or do science. So,
Sorry.
Come on.
you all did a science, and in doing science, you have learned new revelations about yourselves and the skills that you possess.
Out of nowhere, Relzaerax just starts chanting in Druidic. Just
Oh my god, it's the trees. The trees, they're taking him. Come
Yep.
back to us.
Hold on. I think this might actually be chill. It's rare that I see a guy randomly start chanting, and good things don't happen.
That's
So,
it. That-
Relzaerax starts chanting in Druidic.
That can't be what Druidic sounds like.
Oh my god,
That
cannon.
can't be what.
Double crossing sounds. in
No.
Druidic.
No. That's not what Druidic sounds like. That's what he's hearing back from the you
Oh,
hear
shit.
around the forest and things are talking to him.
I expected
Is
it to sound
Relzaerax-
more like.
Is Relzaerax able to understand that?
Damn you, Tom Nook. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Bring me bells. Bring me your bells.
It is, you just hear like a cacophony of squirrels and shit talking about their day, yelling about nuts, who's stealing nuts, where they're gonna bury their nuts. Nuts are really tasty. We need to save nuts for winter. They also keep saying that it is about an hour before sunset and they need to go find a place to be in the trees and hide their nuts.
It's half-hour walk back to town.
Yeah, about.
Sunset is in an
I know,
hour.
I'm proud of you,
everyone.
Drake. Did you check the sun positioning, or
No, the squirrels told me. So if we want to get back before dark, it's about half-hour walk. So we have about half an hour. If we want to get back to town before sunset.
okay, well, We'll talk. Frankly, we don't have time to cover the squirrels right now. Let's head out. Let's go.
Yep.
I'll pick
Okay.
up the pot and prestidigitation the corruption out of it. I don't know if the prestidigitation will work to clean it, but if it does, then I'll hand it back to Relzaerax.
Like a used spaghetti Tupperware.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm talking
I got
about.
it. There's a residue left.
Is
There's
Yeah.
a faint green tinge at the bottom of your
Yeah.
pot. The magic doesn't seem to be. Well, here, I guess, and we'll hand you the pot back.
Thank you.
Just don't cook anything in that
I
pot
will-
anymore.
I think, yeah, I'll avoid that. You owe me 2 copper now. Anyway. So, given that the vibes that we got from Gwen Hamara were not that terrible, but it was
Right.
Kinzee and Buckthorn. Well, so this is Buckthorn and Kinzee who heard a bunch of the information that made things seem a little bit more sus. Before we go back to town, Relzaerax is going to. She wanted a piece of bark from all 6 trees. Is that correct?
Yep.
Well, given that there's still some of those trees that have things in them, I'll leave it for now.
Actually, just as we're heading back, when we were in the tavern, actually, you know what? Kinzee did an absolutely excellent job of finding a bunch of information.
Yeah, I did.
But there was Bugthorn continues speaking, doesn't break speech, and just holds up a hand for a high five. But there was a lot that we found out. One of those things being, I'm pretty sure that the people, and can I do a perception check to see if we are being watched or listened to?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Guidance. I have it now.
2 questions. Sorry,
Yeah.
1 question, 1 statement. Are we stacking guidance? Or as
no.
rules is written, I was about to say, rules written, can we stack guidance?
No, I do
But
not
if
believe we can
DM
stack
says absolutely
guidance.
not. No, okay.
was
Then the
gonna
second thing is just, as Zara throws a finger gun at me, truly, something, like, you see, like, a fully a twinkle in Buckthorn's eye, just being like, where'd you learn to do that, Zara?
Picked it up, you know. I've been just following your lead on a couple things.
As he says
Leather
that,
Seems to be
there's
effective.
a squirrel that comes down from the tree, and it, like, sits in front of you, Buck.
Bet. Might dab it up.
What did it say, Izzy?
I'll tell you. Hang on.
Okay.
Buck is too lost in the moment of Zara being like, I learned it from you, to give a fuck. That squirrel could have told him his entire family died, and only because he does not know the language, he just went, nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Oops! Don't love that!
I
it's-
did it again.
I'm gonna roll my perception check now with absolutely no concept of what's going on.
A cute squirrel, talk to me.
Okay, so real quick. So Belikr here would recognize this because he's been around Dragonborn enough. Finn might. Buckthorn maybe. Dragonborn can't blush because of the scales, but they have a different physical tell, or at least Relzaerax does. Like it's a similar kind of like subtle thing, So those who would know what that is, Relzaerax blushes after hearing what the squirrel says, and then just keeps walking.
Everybody can make an insight check on Ral if you want to. The DC
Absolutely.
for Belikr and Finn is going to be 10. The DC for everybody else is going to be 16.
Could I use my passive,
Oh.
which is 17?
Oh.
It's
just
only
not paying
-1 now, though.
Insight, you have a
I
passive
fucking
insight
broke that
of
insight.
17.
Side of 17, yes.
Yeah, I have a passive insight of
Passive
11.
insight is a thing. There's passive investigation, passive insight, and passive perception.
I mean, I know that you do, but why is it so high? Yeah, you can use your passive
Was it
insight if
clerics?
you think that you would be looking at him or the squirrel. If you think you're looking at the squirrel, then no.
Oh, I
I'd be
just wanted
looking
those
at
squirrels
him.
vibes.
Oh, you're inciting the squirrel.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm so sorry. Why would I not have realized that? My bad. Belikr, yes, 100%. You notice that Rel is blushing. Dev, no idea. Kinzee, no idea.
Just to be clear as well, I'm going to use my point of inspiration to reroll my perception, and then I will roll
I
my
can do that too,
insight.
actually.
Uh,
I'm gonna do that too.
Haziel, you clock the squirrel as being
Yes.
incredibly blunt, but also very supportive of everything that's going on.
It's a good pal.
I used my inspiration to reroll, and I rolled a 13, so now I know.
Nope, you don't know. Yours was 16. For
Well, I said
oh
mine
wait,
was
no,
10.
yeah, you're right because
No,
you know about
Yours
dragons.
was
Yep.
10.
Yeah.
Yep. You know about dragons. Yeah.
I am now going to roll the all-important insight check.
Mhm.
How'd it go?
Not
You got
great.
I don't want to know.
But for your perception check, you do notice that there is the little golden butterfly high up in the trees up here.
How high? Within 120 feet?
Yeah. Probably like 60 feet up.
Being entirely unaware of the biological reaction of Zara, I will throw a message to the butterfly. And it's the same, it looks the same butterfly?
It looks like the same butterfly, yeah.
I'll throw a message, I'll just go. Obviously the rest of the party doesn't... They're aware it's you, I'm not gonna lie to you, buddy, I told them immediately. Do you want to, like, just come down and have a conversation? Or would you prefer to just sort of watch from afar? Are you good? Are we good? But I don't see anyone else or anything else.
Nope.
Cool. Then I'm just going to, even knowing that, I'm just gonna kind of pull everyone into a huddle, and I'll just go. Just so everyone knows, I'm pretty sure that the leaders of the Redwood Watch have been lying to their people. It was actually Kinzee who made the first find. But I followed the track a little bit. After having a conversation with two lovely young gentlemen. And they are... The way they spoke was very complimentary of the place they're in, which is not necessarily out of turn, but the way they spoke. A dragonborn themselves referenced how all dragons are evil because they had been told this by the leaders of the Redwood Watch.
So you propose that
That's
they are
pretty
not
fucked
being
up.
truthful. Do you think what Elidor truly meant about this place is that we be here to expose the truth.
I get the feeling that there is not just one blight.
We did not speak with Selenar earlier.
Correct.
It may be interesting, if this is true, to get his side of the story. He may have a different position than Gwen Humara.
Is this person still here? Still in this town?
I think either way, it's clear that we do not have all the information that we need to understand what's going on. So rather than standing around and making assumptions about what we think it might be, perhaps we should spend some time doing a little more digging in town. See what of this internal or external blight we might discover.
More
'Cause,
gossip.
More
Yeah,
gossip.
there are definitely two different things going on. Because we obviously saw the physical evidence of the blight, whatever this, magic and poison is. But then also, yeah, things in town definitely seem odd.
The other
given-
thing I was
Because
Go ahead.
they lost their companion when they fought and defeated Death at Sunset, but his body wasn't recovered either, and they just left the dragon's body where it was, and
Sorry
all
to
this
interrupt.
stuff.
There's a timer.
What?
let's get out of here.
10, 9, 8,
Let's go.
7. Time to go.
Time to go.
From now on, if
Where?
we discuss anything about the government of the
Josh is like,
Redwood Watch, we
I don't
we refer to it as the Blight. Did you hear me?
Mhm.
Good.
Understood.
One other
Where the
quick
fuck
thing
was the timer?
It's on the map.
Just so you
Oh,
all know,
Within.
this area here is not the source of the blight. This is merely
Understood.
symptomatic of it. So let's head out. Probably getting
It
dark.
came up on the map of
Yeah.
the
I see a 6 there.
thing. Yeah,
and a
Izzy just
5.
did it quietly. They just started counting.
Yeah.
We head back to town because I'm
Okay.
assuming sunset is coming.
Sunset's
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, we were walking. I thought we were talking while we were
Walk and
walking.
talk.
Oh,
Yeah.
were you walking and talking in town? Okay, that's good.
I
to
thought
know.
so.
Walk and talk.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's when
That was my
death
assumption.
happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Izzy, you're so
Oh.
proud of yourself.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
As we're
I want
walking
to slap
back,
you in the face and give you a hug. Like, fuck you and I love you.
You know, it's fine.
The second you mentioned the countdown, I panic. Just
It's
Yeah.
I knew,
Josh was
I
like,
knew if I said the
didn't
phrase
see it.
countdown, that would be
Josh
it.
actually just runs out of his house. He's like, "We gotta go."
yeah.
Spotlight
We gotta get
timer, the skull.
back now.
Just
dude.
hear sirens.
Death is coming at sunset once again.
Mm.
All right, you guys
Speaking
head back
of.
to town, and you make it there just as the sun sets behind the tops of the giant redwood grove. It is now dark, but you are safe in town.
Good.
Great. Now that we're safe, Relzaerax, my friend, and I pull him over to the side, out of earshot.
Okay.
I noticed a very specific detail about yourself after that squirrel had spoken to you. May I ask what this squirrel had said to you? There is no need to be
He was
bashful.
just
Should you wish
making
to share.
he was just making a comment on the fact that I enjoy spending time around Buck.
You two share a very strong bond. I see no reason to be so bashful. You should nurture it, strengthen it. That's all I'll say on the matter. I'll leave you to your own business.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You guys head towards the center
Fucking
council
knew it, by the
building.
way.
Head towards the center council building. That's the only place that you really know right now. To see if Gwen and the other guy that has a real name that we totally remember has
Eleanor.
lodging.
Eleanor.
You guys are so good.
Kinzee and I, well, actually, no, just Kinzee, have to be somewhere about half an hour after sunset if we have time.
Oh, where are you going?
Well, it's not me, it's
Back
Kinzee.
to the bar.
Me
Team
and
meal?
Before?
Dates.
Before.
Dates.
Oh. Plural.
At least one. Apparently, someone isn't going to be there.
Oh.
I
Would it
suppose you have
pain
ever
you
heard
if we
of-
went and ate food at the same location where you had your date? It seems like there's a dearth of, or lack thereof, of establishments to eat at in the area.
I
No, you
myself
guys
could
can
use
be
a
there
drink.
too. I need backup in case they end up being weird, you know?
That won't be a problem.
Oh, have you talked to
Easy
them?
warrior. Diplomacy before
I have no idea what you're
violence.
talking about.
Fascinating.
Belikr, you make a good point. You make a very good point.
Should the
Do
need
you
arise,
guys
though?
remember? Did I use the voice for Eduardo?
You did.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I thought so.
Can I walk up to Kinzee as we're making our way to the tavern? Just like pull her to an aside. So, happy to be there as support as you need. Do you actually want us to be involved at all in your evening experience, or should we be keeping a low profile out of the way? How would you like us to support, if at all?
Good point. I do like the fact that you guys are gonna be there.
Mhm.
Because people can be weird. I go on a lot of dates, and
Mhm.
sometimes people are weird, and I like to have a place to run away to. So that's a great idea. I don't know if I want you to interject unless I say something about it, though.
Yep, I remember a number of times when you went on dates at the tavern back in the day, so just wanted to verify that nothing has changed. I will make sure to relay those orders to the group.
Yeah, you're a great judge of character. I like bringing them to you.
Thank you. And I will walk over to the group as we enter and relay the orders. Team, we are not to interfere unless requested.
Does that
I
mean
wasn't
that we have
planning
a
on it.
safe phrase? Safe word?
Kinzee's a grown woman. I am sure she will find a way to summon us if she needs to.
Understood.
I'll probably
then
just
be in the
ask,
back getting
guys.
a
I'll
drink.
probably just say something.
So we can go enjoy our meal in that corner, and basically Finn's gonna point to like whatever table is the farthest in the back in the corners or somewhere, unless we're called.
As you guys walk towards the tavern, you see Eduardo just like sitting at the table already, even though the date wasn't for another 20 minutes. He's already there at a table for two with a vase of flowers sitting there. He was able to find narcissus flowers in a little vase, and he's got like a little envelope that looks like it's like handmade sitting there on top of it with Kinzee's name written. And he's just kind of like hanging out, chilling. And as soon as he sees Kinzee, he stands up quick and
Aww.
pulls out the chair nervously to like pull the chair out.
Oh, Kinzee, hey. I'm so glad that you could make it and you were here and able to get your thing. How did your errands go? You said you had stuff to do.
Yeah, we did some science. It was enlightening.
Science. Oh wow, that's so interesting. Please, I got you flowers. I hope that you really like them. Have a seat.
Oh my god, they're narcissus too. How did you know?
Hi, it was just a little birdie told me.
This is turning out way better than I thought. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've been looking forward to this all day. Did say you were doing science? I haven't done much science.
I don't know much science either, but we concentrated the nastiness in the river, and we're gonna learn more about that.
You mean like
It wasn't my idea.
from the blight because the dragon is here?
Yeah. Is
Are
it the
you gonna be able
dragon? I thought the dragon was dead.
Well, I mean, dragons can resurrect, you know, and she might have had like a vengeance
Can it?
on the town. So I just figured that she got resurrected, and that's what it is. But
Well, someone a lot smarter than me said that they didn't think it had anything to do with undead.
oh, okay. I don't know. I know that that sunset was a really terrible. Like it was 100 years ago. So like I don't know. I'm not that smart. I'm just happy to be here and have drinks for you. Would you like me to go get you a drink?
Please.
Absolutely. What would you like?
Something strong.
He like looks over at Buckthorn.
Can I insight check to see if I can pick up this dude's vibe?
Sure.
As soon as he sees Eduardo make eyes with him, I'm assuming I'm far enough away that I can't hear the conversation.
You could do a perception check, like if you're trying to actively eavesdrop.
No, I'll just throw him a message cantrip.
Oh, yeah, that works too.
I would
I'm
like.
just literally just gonna point and whisper and just be like, "Hello? You're looking at me and not them."
She wants a strong drink.
So my insight check was
Okay.
17. Do I see what's happening?
He looks extremely nervous, but like in a good way. Like he doesn't want
But
to
did
fuck this
I
up.
catch the glance to Buckthorn?
Yes, you do catch the glance to Buckthorn.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to
In response to
Buckthorn.
his message, I'll just go, "Okay, get her a strong drink." Hey, look, man. I know I spooked you earlier, but like, you can trust yourself.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
And
I got this.
as that's happening, Finn, very familiar with the message cantrip because it's a spell that she has, is just going to look at Buckthorn and say, "What are you doing?"
He'll look at Finn. How would he react to that question?
Protecting my own.
Answering a question.
We were told not to interfere unless asked. That's all I will say.
He asked.
Sure.
I
Oh.
do want to eavesdrop. I went by myself to grab a drink for this exact reason.
Hmm.
May I roll a perception check?
Sure, Kinzee. I'll be right back with the drink for you. Not a problem. You just
Thank you.
I'll be right back. And if you want, I wrote you this note. I'm not super smart and good at writing words, but I hope that you like it.
It says roses are red, violets are blue. I want nothing more than to hang out with you.
Aww.
That's so cute.
That's so cute.
That sounds like the things I used to write.
Belikr, you do hear like snippets of the conversation that's going on, but he sounds like you notice that he sounds hella nervous, and Kinzee's like, yeah, I mean, this is another date. Thanks. I'm cute.
Did I catch that part about the dragon resurrecting?
The dragon resurrection was fairly early in the conversation. So the tail end that you catch would be like that tail end part of, well, you know, I'm not that smart, so I don't really know about that, but that's like what people say.
Okay.
But Kinzee does have, like, if you want to ask her more about it, she's got the information, a couple of rumors. Kinzee and Buck have a handful of rumors that they picked up from the bar earlier in the day.
Yeah.
I feel like an NPC with dialogue options.
Pretty much.
Sat
Lost
in the
the dialogue
table. I
tree.
have rumors.
Comes back with 2 drinks.
So, I asked them for one of their stronger drinks. I'm really sorry about the name. It's kind of inappropriate. It's called a Harder Daddy. Here you go. I'm so sorry.
What now? A harder daddy?
Harder Daddy. Yeah, I didn't make the name. I'm so sorry, but yeah, I hope it's good. They say it's like
I
a
like it.
berry
It's
flavor.
funny.
Okay. Okay, cool, awesome. I just have a ale. I'm not that fancy, you know. But please tell me some more about yourself. You're so interesting.
About me. Well, you know, I like to dance and play music on a lot of different instruments. I know like a lot of different instruments, and they're kind of generic instruments, so I can extrapolate and like play the ones that are similar to those too.
Yeah,
I assume?
that's really cool. Yeah. So like you could play like the guitar and the lutes because they're so close to each other.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
and like all the different drums. I'm good with my rhythm.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of good with rhythm too. You know. But not
Yeah?
like musical instrument. Not musical instruments. Though. Yeah.
I don't get it.
This is where you may interrupt.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I could probably show you later, but like, maybe like we are 5 dates down the road, you know, not yet, yeah, but anywho, I was an apprentice to be a tailor, but I don't know if that's gonna work out so much.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I
it's-
had to help mend a little bit at the theater, but it wasn't my job at all. So like that's fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. You have to be, really skilled and dexterous with your hands and fingers because the needles are so tiny and small. You know, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with my hands, but not like in a fighting way. You know,
I'm pretty good with my hands
Yeah,
in a
I
fighting
bet-
way, and like delicate work way too.
Yeah, I would assume so. If you can play like instruments and stuff, you gotta be pretty good with your hands.
Really
and,
good at
like,
fingering.
Yeah, that good. Yeah, fingering, different finger positions for the instruments. Yeah. Oh,
And I got these really cool lute strings right now, from a really good friend of mine. Finn, she made them just for me, and like they're supposed to like not ever break, and it's really really cool.
oh wow. So like, even if you're like playing in the middle of battle and your string breaks, it's not the break.
Right.
That's so cool.
Or something.
Wow, that's really helpful.
Yeah,
That's-
they're really cool. She's really cool.
That's super neat. We fade away from oh wait, I made my manly voice.
We fade away from Kinzee and Eduardo. He is sweating, but he's doing his best. Okay, he's doing his best.
He should be.
And Finn is just watching specifically Belikr and Buckthorn like a hawk to see if at any point the two of them are going to get it in their heads that they need to save somebody and try and interrupt the date before it is able to conclude or until Kinzee says so.
Fantastic.
Kinzee's not great at subtext, so she's having a great time.
Yeah, but
That's all
Belikr
Finn
caught
needs
it.
to know.
I would like before we all go to bed, I'd like to pull Finn aside.
Sure. Kinzee, do you? How does your date go?
Apparently, the sound of
I
whatever
think
that ringtone
she's-
was.
Impressed
Okay.
by the flowers and the poem and the fact that he's asking questions, although there is a little something in the back of her head that is uncomfortable, but only a little something. So she's having a good time. She really likes this guy.
Awesome.
Especially if he goes into any more rumors. She'll definitely take note of those.
All right.
She likes to talk gossip.
Got one more rumor for you before your date ends.
You said that you were going, you went out into the forest. You didn't run into like any bandits, did you? Because there were some bandits that were robbing folks on the edge of the forest. They're probably hiding in the woods somewhere still, I think. Did you see any?
No bandits, no. I mean, the people that we were with had run into some like big scary bugs before, but they'd taken care of them by the time I showed up, so.
Did you find
But no
a giant
bandits.
centipede nest?
I don't know about a nest, but there was a giant centipede.
Those things are
And then a bunch of other little bugs.
crazy.
It was so scary and it was dead when I saw it.
Oh, okay, good, because I don't think that I could withstand a bite from one of those things. They're so big.
I could take it. Yeah, I could take it.
I'm sure you could, yeah. You look like you could, yeah, because you go out on adventures and do the fighting and stuff, yeah. You could totally take that.
As you all are hanging around the table, Fergus comes by and lets you know that Gwen has reserved some rooms for you in the local inn, and he hands you all two keys. Each room has 2 beds in it, so you're able to split up into rooms as you want. Is that enough beds?
We're short 2. If it's 2 rooms of 2.
There's only one bed. I've read this romance book.
Uh-oh.
1,
I've written it.
3, 4.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Let's go.
one person
keys?
gets 1 bed to themselves, and everybody else has to share a bed.
Ah, okay. All right.
Age before beauty.
He's saying the old people get to bed first. So you guys can discuss.
I'm hella cute, so I guess I don't get it back.
I'll take the bet on my own. Thank you.
No, I literally just dibsed it. I said age before beauty. I'm the
Well,
oldest
there's-
here.
There's 4 beds, right?
4 beds.
And 6 people.
2 rooms, 4 beds. You can
I-
sleep on the floor.
I-
This is
Yeah.
where the first player conflict comes up. Fighting over fucking beds.
Relzaerax is used to sleeping in the forest. A bedroll on a wooden floor is probably more difficult than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing for Finn. So I'm happy to sleep on the
Yeah.
floor. If as
I
long
was
as there's a
gonna do
rug
the
and I can get a
same.
pillow. I'm good.
Buckthorn's too old
Since
for
he
that
definitely
shit.
wants bed.
Buckthorn's going to bed.
But she doesn't mind sharing. She's a great cuddler.
Is there are 3 other beds? I see no
Alright.
reason to share one then.
So Finn,
Haziel, were
And-
you gonna say something?
Oh no, if it's already
Yeah,
been.
I'll start making my way into one of the rooms. I'm assuming there's no assignment, so she's just gonna pick, if nobody else
Yeah.
is moving to claim rooms, I'm just gonna pick a room and start setting up on the floor.
I'll lay my armor at the foot of one of the beds and just crash first room on the right.
I'm gonna follow into Finn's room.
all right. That's 3 people in one room. And then the other 3 in the other
Sure.
room.
I thought
These
Belikr was
are-
going to a different room.
I said first
I don't
room
know
on the right.
I don't know which room Finn went in. If you guys want to be in different rooms, that's fine. All right, so who's going into the room on the right with Belikr?
Works for
Ral.
me. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll go in the other room to be on the floor in that one.
Finn will do anything
I'll
she
go into
can
that
get to stay away from the conversation of the light, naturally. Light versus logic, she will not have it.
Finn and Buck are in the room on the left. So Haz and Kinzee, you guys get your choice of left or right.
Hazy, you want to share a bed?
Bet.
All right, there is now one empty bed. I believe.
In which room?
It would be well.
Well, which room are the two
Yeah,
of you
which are
going
you guys
into?
going left or right? On the right is Belikr
Left.
and Ral, and on the left is Finn
Okay.
and Buck. Left?
So,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I just picked.
In that
Yeah.
case, then, if no one else comes in this room, Relzaerax is just gonna take the other bed.
Take the bed? Alright. So
Yeah.
do you guys have any nighttime conversations before we end the stream?
Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic. Alright. We'll do Bucks first.
I assume that Finn has started laying out a bedroll.
Mhm.
Okay. Buckthorn will walk up to the door and knock. Just go, "Hey, Finn, you mind if I crash in here?"
No.
Just open the door, come in. He'll take off his boots and he'll sit down on the bed. Can I talk to you quickly?
Have a choice.
Yes.
Then we'll just start laying out her items. Please feel free.
First, I wanted to congratulate you. You made a scientist today. Of somebody that did not think they would be a scientist. You should be very proud.
I did not make them a scientist. They were a scientist. I merely pointed out a fact.
That's very true. Well, as all good students whom become good teachers, you helped them see what they couldn't. And that is a rare skill. You should be proud. Earlier at the table, you seemed upset with me. Why?
I don't know if upset is the right word. I was just merely curious to see potential interference when Kinzee had asked there to not be any. We were given a rather simple order, and Perhaps I misread the situation. It's possible. I am prone to doing that. So I was just curious. More than anything.
You did. It's fine that you did, but you did. I can't speak for Belikr, but at least in my case, I wasn't going to do or say anything until asked. I
Except
am a
you,
very, very...
you did. You cast a
I
message
was
spell.
asked.
To cast a message spell? Did he cast a message spell to you?
No. But that man's name is Eduardo. I had a word with him.
What sort
Prior.
of word? I imagine it wasn't one word, but many, knowing you.
Was there anything implied in that statement, Finn?
No, you just like to talk.
Okay, good. That is true. It was many words. Kinzee is very important to me, as she is to all of us. But she is in my charge. I trust Kinzee wholeheartedly. I would very happily place my life in her hands. I don't trust anyone else. Not you guys, of course, I mean the outside world. And so if there is anything that I can do to make sure that she has not been misled or taken advantage of, I very happily do.
And this
And
was
I had a
something
conversation with Eduardo.
Oh, please go ahead.
I had a conversation with Eduardo. I informed him of the fact that she's looked out for, not just by me, but by all of us. And that scared him. Now, admittedly, I did it in a way that was abjectly terrifying. But I have want to do that. Having said all of that, though, Kinzee is a woman that makes their own decisions. If at any point they want to date anybody, they do not need my approval, they do not need my want. They may do as and whatever they please.
And
I
she-
just...
Go ahead.
Go, please.
I was just going to say, so she asked you to do this then. Preview her potential partners. Give them a warning.
She asked me to look out for her, not this specifically.
But surely you've spoken with her about this and said that,
We have spoken about it.
and she's okay with you doing this.
At no point has she asked me to stop.
And you've asked her, is this okay?
I thought she would tell me if she didn't like it.
I do not know what has occurred to Kinzee in the years since we have been apart. I do not know what trials and tribulations the both of you have overcome or succumbed to in the absence. What I do know about Kinzee is that she greatly cares for the happiness of others. And oftentimes goes with the flow with certain things that some of us may not find tolerable. And so I am in no way suggesting that she is out here to deceive you, but I would be curious to know her true feelings on your actions. Not because I necessarily think she will think that they're bad, but a helpful hand unasked for is just a slap to the face. And so, while I absolutely understand where you are coming from, and I agree with you that I would prefer a world where she is safe, at the end of the day, she is, like you said, a grown woman. And if you continue to pre-screen all of her partners, how will she ever learn? As you have instilled in me time and again at that training camp, it's when we encounter adversity that we grow to overcome it. So is it truly a service to Kinzee to solve problems for her when they may not even be problems to begin with?
You make fair points. And I'm glad that you've said that to me. There is no way I can learn until somebody tells me what I'm doing is wrong.
I am not here to make a moral judgment one way or the other. Kinzee is the
know.
only one that can tell us if this is right or wrong.
Because you are only a source of pure logic.
I strive to be. Maybe one day.
I believe you'll get that. But seriously, Finn. Thank you. I think I
Thank
get
you.
blinded sometimes.
We all do. And thank you for looking out for Kinzee for the last however long.
A helping hand, not asked as a slap in the face. But saying thank you to somebody for doing something that is not even... The word duty is an insult. I would look out for Kinzee, and plan to, if it ever comes to it, until my heart stops beating. She will always have a home at the Bastion. But, admittedly, maybe I need to pull back.
Or at the very
When you
least,
lose
just
it
check
up.
in.
Yeah. When you lose enough people, you start holding on real tight to the ones that are still breathing.
But it is a blessing that you have people to hold on to still.
Did I ever tell you why I wear this ring?
No.
Her name was Maria. We were engaged. We adventured together. We went to a jeweler to get diamonds cut, so that if at any point either of us was to fall, beyond the point of simple healing, that as long as we had our rings, that we could bring each other back. The diamond was a fake. I was fooled. And now her corporeal form rots because of it. And I wear this ring as a reminder that even if you think that someone can be trusted, that there is always another space and another finger for another ring. That's why I wear these earrings. They're enough to pay for a burial. Wherever I am, whoever I'm with, they're enough to inter me respectfully. Send me out looking for her.
I
So, If anything does happen to me, and I get put in the ground, one, unless the world fucking depends on it, do not bring me back. And two, I don't mind if it's you. I'd like it to be you. I don't mind if it's you, or Haziel, or Zara, or Belikr now. I don't have a history with him. Or a group of you. Just make sure she's okay.
I can do that. And I don't know if it's a comfort at all, but as you know, my arcane specialty is in the resonance of the arcane and the reverberations of magical energy. So I do not know this woman that you speak of, Maria. I do not know what kind of person she was, but you said that you need to look for her. But the reality is, and the thesis I'm trying to prove, is that every living being that walks this planet has magical resonance, the ability to affect the arcane energies and the weave around us. And so even if she is not physically present any longer, the reverberations are eternal. And so some part of her will always be here, whether in your memory, whether in the way that she changed the fabric of magic around her as she moved through space. That always exists and will never change.
Is there anything I can do to help prove that hypothesis? Tell me without pause.
Listen, if you got some funding, bitch is broke. But I will let you
Then,
know.
of course, I have funding. I run
I
a
will
training
explain.
camp for adventurers. Why didn't you just ask?
It's good to know that that is an option, and I will let you know. First, I have to get my thesis
Good.
topic approved, and then that's step 2.
Or hear me out, you could break away from the bounds of structured education and find the answer for yourself?
That's more complicated than one might think, but I'm not opposed to it.
Okay. Well, I think that's quite enough for tonight, if you don't mind.
Very fair.
And just as a request from, unless you are put in a position where you feel like you can't, my ring and my earrings are simply jewelry.
No problem.
Okay. Sleep well. And
too.
feel free to keep a light on to read if you'd please.
I'll try not to stay up too late.
I'll make sure of it.
Bravo! Like, that was so fucking good, you guys. Jesus Christ.
Dude, Finn, honestly, just looking dead ass at Buckthorn and going,
Yeah.
"Hey, back the fuck up." Buckthorn fully being like, you know what? You actually might fully be right.
So
Nice.
yeah. Josh, you want to follow that up? Or do you just... So it's all 4 of you in the room right now. It's you 2 and the girls that are snuggling in bed. I guess, if you guys are already in bed.
The snuggling girls are in Finn
Our
and
room. So
are
they
in
probably would have entered at this point after our
Finn
little
and Buck's
combo.
room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wrong room. Y'all, I don't remember.
Fair.
Somebody took my
You've
memory.
remembered so much, Izzy. It's
Attention.
okay.
It took us a while to get in there.
You got
Yeah.
lost.
You just heard voices, low conversation. You're like, maybe we'll give them a minute.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. Off you go.
So Belikr, we haven't had a chance to speak since we arrived at Eldar's Manor. How are you? What have you been up to since we met?
To be honest, friend, I'm quite the adventurer. I go wherever I'm needed. I will always seek to kindle the light and seek to place that wherever I can. Therefore, I have been up to nothing but helping those in need, those who require me and my assistance.
The last I saw you and talked to you, it seemed like you were cooped up in that cave for quite a while.
I had to hide myself. This quest that Elidor sent us on is one of the ones of the utmost importance to me, and why I focus so heavily on the resurrection that they speak of. The cave that I continued to hide myself within is due to a being that I'm sure you much realize just as much as I do is the embodiment of evil. Her name was Tiamat. My ancestry follows that of a red dragon that served Tiamat. I hid myself away for many years after my own clutch abandoned me. Abandoned because even though these gold scales were a telltale sign of light for that of a dragon, that I would bring light to all those that could see it, the shine of my scales. Learning of my ancestry and the fire that I breathed, I was deemed evil and cut out. And though that hurts, it never had as much of an effect as what I witnessed the days after. I wear this armor as a symbol that even the worst can be a light in the darkness. This armor is a fallen comrade of mine, and one of the few Dragonborn that fought alongside the embodiment of light. He and I were good friends, told stories, he showed me the way, and showed me that a hand of the gods can guide you to what you so truly need. He died in a battle against a Dragonborn from the same ancestry as mine. And though it may not be the most efficient, I still carry him with me. I still carry his memory with me. And I seek nothing more than to show others that the light is carried by those who wield it, and by the memories that they keep with them, not the light just being. Though my answers, forgive me, my friend.
We are who we surround ourselves with and who we carry with us still beyond their passing. So I understand the affinity you hold for that armor.
It may not be well made, but I refuse to go into a battle without this warrior beside me. Especially since it's my fault he died.
Unless you were the one who swung the blade, it was not your fault that this person died. Whatever you tell yourself.
He died because I wasn't fast enough and I was not strong enough. The blade that beheads the man is not always the killer. When you let down your comrades, when you let down your brothers in arms,
it is your fault. That is such my responsibility, and why I will never watch it happen to any of those that I am allied with, even if I may not trust them in the beginning. I will come to know them, I will come to trust them, and I will show them that they are their own light and their own darkness. Nothing more.
How much burden and responsibility can you put on your shoulders before your back breaks? If you not being fast enough to save this person means that you're responsible for their death, then why does that not mean that you're the responsible for anyone who dies if you were not there to save them? How many lives can you stack upon your shoulders? You are responsible for your actions as they were responsible for theirs.
I will stack as many as I can before I fall. And I will bring each and every single one of them to the light. What happens to me matters not if I can save just one more, if I can keep just one more going. And that's how I look at all of you. For even if I may fall, there are those who come after. Look at your allies. Though your friend Finn definitely has issues seeing the light within themselves. They have so much potential to be the light that the scientific world needs to see. You, my friend, you may slay animals, but that does not mean that you are not a friend to them too. Each and every single one of you has a unique gift and a reason that Elidor has chosen you. So I worry not, for if I lay down my sword in the heat of battle, at least I know I have those that will come after.
You are free to live your life as you choose. And while you do have I agree with some of what you say, but make sure you take care of yourself as well. And if you can't take care of yourself, we're here to help take care of you too. Or at least I can only speak for myself, but
I appreciate your candor. And I'll admit, you're right. The responsibility itself is not my own. For anyone's death, even my comrade. But it is my responsibility to try the best that I can. Even if it may not be my fault, it is my fault that I didn't try hard enough. And I will keep pushing until I reach that point. But this group can break every limit that it sets before itself. And I'm waiting for that to happen. Sleep well, friend.
Get some rest. I'm not quite sure what is afoot in this town, but I think we'll need it.
Darkness is in every corner. That's why we need to be the lights.
Yay! Clap, 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 clap,
Well
clap,
done,
clap, clap,
guys.
clap, 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 clap. You guys can push your long rest button.
Oh,
Yay!
Let's go.
Let's go. Chat, you could be anywhere in the world right now, but you chose to hang out with us tonight, and I think that is absolutely fantastic. Good
Bye.
luck. Bye.
Goodbye
Bye,
forever.
everyone. Sleep well.